What's going on? You know, I think it's interesting that I am 2 minutes into the stream, and there appears to be one stalker in the stream. And even though we're streaming vertical, you know, there's just apparently nobody else. According to what YouTube is telling you. Even though we're in a swipe feed when we stream this way, and there's, yeah, who knows? Probably millions watching. All of YouTube, not this. I just mean, like, you know, YouTube in general. So, I just think that's funny that, you know, here we are trying to say that, just the same one stalker, and then, oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. So, I know that as Americans we're a bunch of idiots. I understand that. Um I mean, think about who we voted for. Yeah, I mean, like, I wasn't too smart. So, you know, in addition to that, I just think that Americans really, have a really stupid way of handling things with each other, just act a fool. And I genuinely am concerned that people are so dumb that, real danger to them is not gonna, like, they're gonna freeze up and be like, or something like that. Like, I feel like, a lot of people are really, really stupid when it comes to other, like other people and situations and just how they react. I just think they're fucking stupid. And for example, let me give you an example, okay? There's a whole bunch of people out there that because they don't wear sunglasses, for example, just for example, these stupid morons will go around and sort of like hate on people that wear them inside, wear them at night, because they don't understand it. They don't know why you would possibly do that because they don't do it. So therefore, you're an asshole because you wear your sunglasses inside or at night. Therefore, in their eyes. But again, it's a choice that has nothing to do with them. It doesn't affect them in any way. Just like if I were complaining to an employee about something, not yelling, just raising, my voice a little bit to match the voice of the employee who's irritated that I'm complaining. Sort of like I do on here. This is how I normally talk. You guys know that. I'm pretty loud. I don't yell. You guys have heard me yell. I don't do that with people. Like if I'm in front of, I don't feel threatened by people. No. No, but one thing that is ridiculous is when a bunch of people go out of their way to try to embarrass somebody and make them look bad just because they're the ones that are actually trying to stick up for everybody else that has to deal with this fucking shit. And they're the heroes that are trying to do something about it. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different fucking people that don't know anything about the situation just start chiming in, getting all pissed off for no reason at all because they hear this tone. I'm talking. I'm not yelling. Even if I were yelling, I mean, what's the intent, man? But I mean, wholly aside from that, in real life, I mean, you're talking loud. You're just talking loud. That's really messed up if you're gonna sit there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, attack somebody, call them names, bully. What the fuck? Because that person had the balls to complain? And the person they were complaining to was rude? So they stuck up for themselves? I'm a martial artist. I owned a martial arts school. I'm a Sifu for crying out loud. I don't feel threatened by somebody just because they're not hearing my complaint. The frustrating part of that is that you don't hear it. That everybody else sort of wants to look a certain way, but then the lady that gets all defensive and acts that way, the moment she leaves the store, she puts her shopping cart in the middle of the fucking parking lot. Doesn't even return it. This shit's fucking hilarious. So, and where somebody's complaining, You're gonna just stand there, stare at that person, give them a nasty look. You have nothing to do with this. And you're getting involved. And then when you leave the store, you don't act so heroic. You push your damn shopping cart in the middle of the fucking parking lot and leave it sit there. You don't even put it. Oh, give me a break. This 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 country, we have a lot of stupid fucking people in this country. We're like these people. Holy shit. Let me ask you guys a question. if you're using a self checkout at a grocery store, is it anybody's business why you're using it? Any customer, anybody else? Or do you just have the right to use it? No, again, I know we've talked about the politics of that before and stuff like that. I'm not like the hugest fan of them, but at the same time, I understand. But is it anybody else's business why I'd use that? It it is it? Or is somebody out of line if they tell you, well, you could just go to the real cashier. Like other people chiming in because the employee didn't hear your complaint properly. How about when when several other employees do it and shout at you? How about when one of them shouts at you? How about that? Mind you, you're just sort of kind of talking loud enough because the lady started walking away as you were complaining to her. She didn't want to hear your complaint. She just walked away. And you complained about that. You said, "Oh, there she goes." Just walking away. And then she raises her voice. "I'm not walking away, sir." Yes, you are. You literally just walked away just now. Shouldn't do that. I'm complaining to you, and then you just ignored me to help another customer. The very fucking thing that pisses me off about the goddamn self checkout. Because I have to fucking stand there and fucking wait for a goddamn fucking employee every time I fucking use it, defeating the goddamn purpose. So, you have the goddamn audacity to, when I am complaining about this exact fucking problem, to walk away from me after several fucking times I have been in your goddamn motherfucking store and complained specifically about how I had to stand there and look around for a fucking employee because I had soda that I can't bag. That's yelling. That's what fucking yelling looks like. It doesn't look like this, you dumb motherfucker. It's not even close. Note the difference. You dumb motherfucker. I am more than capable of fucking yelling. You dumb motherfucker. So, when the lady very rudely comes over, doesn't listen to it, and sort of just goes, oh, let me finish, blah, 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 blah. You can just skip the bagging. Oh, yes, because I'm so stupid. I didn't see a button that says skip the bag. Oh, yeah, you know, why didn't I just fucking do that? Guys, why didn't I just skip the bagging? Why do you think? Genius! Because I can only do it about 5 times before it locks me out and says you must have approval. Dumb fuck. So not only do you have to put soda on the thing, and then like literally, I swear to God, I was loading it up and it reached the weight limit. This was the problem. It literally wasn't even my fault. I was loading the whole thing up and just not bagging it and trying to like stack them. It was like, nope, weight limit fucking reached. So I had to take them off, and then the problem happened. The stupid bitch wanted to be a stupid fucking bitch. And then her boss wanted to be a stupid bitch. And then some asshole in the other line down, in the other line that I didn't see with the cashier that's too short for me to fucking see, was standing there calling me an asshole just because I'm wearing sunglasses. So immediately took them off. I don't fucking care. Oh, right, that's right. I wear sunglasses inside because when I walked in, it was sun. It was sun. Durr! That's right. There was sun out when I came inside. So therefore, I wear sunglasses. And I wear them because if I put them on my body and hook them on something or in my pocket, they get crushed. Or they fall off and shatter against the ground, you stupid motherfucker. That's why I wear them. That's why. Dumb fuck. So to the asshole that calls me an asshole just because he wants to chime in, and I made a good point. You're being the asshole, chiming into something that doesn't have anything to do with you, and there's your kid right next to you, listening to you call me an asshole. I didn't swear at anybody. I wasn't yelling. Everybody else actually caused a scene. Yep. And then this guy with his kid called me an asshole. And then some random lady was just standing there staring with a disgusting, ugly smirk. And I'm like, and what are you doing now? Are you just going to stand there? And she went, yep. She was standing in front of the employee that I was complaining to. Just a customer. And then this was the lady that didn't put her cart away. She thought she was so heroic when she left the store. Yeah, she just sort of slid her cart, like, kind of like wedged it in, like, the parking lot somewhere. Hero. These employees need saving from all my complaints, man. Let me tell you what. But if only she hadn't walked away. Because, you know, remember, her boss claimed she was there and she saw the whole thing. She's been an asshole. So why didn't she just... Oh, fuck. Oh, that's right. Because she wasn't doing her job. She was too busy watching Oh, that's right. Instead of minding her own fucking business, doing her job, she was escalating just like the other lady did. And remember what I told you, all you have to do. Remember what I told you guys, all you gotta do with a customer that's being that way, that's upset. Remember what I told you gotta do? All you gotta do. I'm really sorry, sir. I will absolutely say something about that. I'm sorry that really messed up your experience today. Is there anything else I can help you with? I will absolutely say something about that. I'm really sorry that happened. Every single employee I speak to there treats me like shit. They walk away. I've actually had employees just walk away from me. Just flat out walk away. Not even answer anything, not even say anything. Literally, a fat asshole once just literally walked away and completely ignored what I said. The manager lady was a fat stupid bitch too. Not the original lady. Like the original lady, I would have been willing to work with her, but everybody else started just being, you know what I mean? Like the whole point I was trying to make to her was that I was matching her tone. She was being very combative with me when all I did was point out the fact that she was walking away as I was trying to complain to her. And then just really raised her voice. And I pointed it out, and that's when everybody else was like freaking out. Like one by one, customer after customer after customer. I swear to God. It was the strangest thing. And I'm thinking to myself, if I'm actually yelling here, you would have asked me to leave the store already. You would have told me to leave the store. You didn't tell me to leave the store. You know, like if it was really that bad, she would have been like, you know, you need to leave or blah, 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 blah. She didn't say anything like that. Nothing like that. Not even close. She's very obviously trying to just egg me out the door almost. That's really fucked up, the way they treat people there. Really messed up. Do not appreciate that. You know, I mean, you gotta make sure that your customers feel comfortable complaining to people. That's fucking terrible. What the fuck? Harassed in your store by several people. Embarrassed. Made fun of. Actually called names. Employees didn't do anything. Didn't apologize, nothing. Do you want to know what you guys didn't hear? Do you want to know what the employees don't know? I walked out into that parking lot, walked right up in the individual, and I said, "I'm really sorry that you had to deal with that. I'm really sorry if I offended you or upset you in any way. I'm really sorry about that." And he immediately apologized to me too. Immediately. Immediately. He said, "No, I'm sorry." He said that shit pisses me off too. I think he didn't realize. I really think he didn't realize. Crazy, huh? And then that's after when I put my card away, I saw the lady come out that was Miss Hero. And then she sort of stuffs her cart in the parking lot. Not in the cart return, just sort of. Guys. Um You can't do that. You 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 can't gang up on somebody and that's you can't do that. Don't do it. Um, this is the type of things employees lose their job over. I don't want necessarily anybody to lose their job, but this is really bad. I was harassed by customers too. Several employees. They had another cashier literally yell, "Everybody stop! You just stop!" And then when I pointed out that the guy had a kid with him, she freaking lost. She's like, "You don't bring the kids into it. You're." She was like being nasty to me, and I'm like, I'm not bringing the kid into it. You just did. That's what I'm thinking. Like she's so dumb, she doesn't understand that. No, I'm trying to exclude the kid by mentioning the fact that he has his kid with him. You should shut the fuck up. You shouldn't. Like, I get what he was trying to do, and I even told him that. I said, I appreciate the fact that you did that in there. But the point I was trying to make to him is if he's got the kid along, he shouldn't. Like, as much as I appreciate what he was trying to do, I was trying to point that out to him. And I think he realized that. I think he kind of realized that a little bit. Like, you shouldn't get into it like that when you got the kid along with you. Okay? You don't know what's gonna happen. So like, like the whole point is that like it just could have been de-escalated by the employee, and it turned into a really serious harassment situation where that's extremely embarrassing. Like the whole point is that employees should lose their job over that because now like people that go to that store could harass me just because they misunderstood the situation. I was almost hit in that parking lot. Remember that? Remember when I was almost hit in the parking lot? Not okay. Yeah, I have made every attempt to complain about this. You have a system that is completely faulted on every level. It forces the customer to be kept there. Can't do that. It's a violation of my rights. You cannot keep me there. I have to pay for this stuff, but you are forcing me to wait for an employee. You are. It's the same sort of thing where, um, like if you buy something at a store and they don't reasonably have a way for you to remove the security device or something like that, if you have to get somebody, that's not your obligation. Obviously, I'm not telling you to steal, but it's not your obligation. You now bought and purchased the thing that you have. If it makes the thing go off when you go out the door, you have zero obligation. Zero. None. Now, if it's as simple as like the person's got it right then and there, or you just gotta wait like a minute or something, that's reasonable. But if you're told that you gotta go over to customer service and wait in line or something like that, you just paid for your stuff. You want to leave. You can't keep me there. Do you see it? Do you see where you could get into legal trouble? So this is a really messed up way to treat a customer that is paying for goods. You're paying for goods, and then you're just nasty to the person. Look, there's people that are the other way too, that think that you want to have a conversation every time, like a personal conversation or something like that. And then like if you don't, therefore you're rude. Like, look, maybe I don't want to just maybe I just don't want to talk every time I come into the store. Maybe I want to be in and out. Okay? Doesn't mean I'm trying to be rude. So like there's people that do that too. And it's like, man, is there no in between anymore where people are just nice to you and accept you for who the fuck you are? You got to be one of them. And if you're talking loud, that's yelling. Actually tried to accuse me. If I was yelling, again, it would have sounded like it did earlier. Trust me. You'd know it. I know he got kicked out of the store. Right away. I think that manager should be fired. The one that was in charge that night. Not the lady that walked away from me. I think the manager that identified herself as a manager. Because I asked for the store manager. And she said, I'm the manager. I know full well the store manager's not there at like 7 o'clock at night. I know full well. Okay. So she's identifying herself as the manager. Okay. She ain't fucking shit. All right. And she was the one that was not backing me up doing her job like she should have. When the lady did that, she could have simply de-escalated. It's not necessarily her fault, but clearly she didn't deal with it properly. Just go over here and deal with them, and I will take his complaint. I'm sorry, sir. Could you start over? I will hear your complaint. I'm really sorry about that. This is what she should have done. Bad management. Bad. Immediate de-escalation. Everybody around would have immediately seen me going, thank you, I appreciate that. Because it's what I would have said. Instead, several customers attack me, call me names. You got another employee get involved now. There's just a cashier. And she was the one ringing up the guy that called me an asshole. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure the lady that was sort of just standing there, pretty sure that was like the manager's friend. Because they were like talking and stuff. So I think that was the issue. I think the issue is that the manager was talking and distracted and she knew she was in the wrong. I think that was the issue. And I think that her friend wanted to stand there and actually be just a fucking bitch. Because that's how she acted. She literally just looked at me like she was judging me and just really nasty, you know? Really, really messed up, man. You know, like if again, if I wanted to yell at them, I would have yelled at them. It's not about that. It's about the fact that she's not hearing my complaint. She's giving me stupid fucking suggestions, and then she walks away. And I point it out, and then she raises her voice. And now I'm being attacked and verbally fucking abused in the store? Now go fuck yourself. You want to verbally abuse somebody, do what I do. Get fucking make a stream or something. It's fucking passive shit on your own fucking time, but it ain't right there in front of them where they got to be all like worried about, if it's going to be aggressive behavior or something like that. It don't fucking matter, okay? But that's the point of what I'm not doing that. They're doing that. That was really messed up. I just I can't believe Americans are so fucking disgusting and hateful. So quickly, so rapidly. What the hell? I am I want to give the store a chance to make it right, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, man. And like I said, I've had issues with an employee where all I did was try to tell the guy about it. It wasn't even like that. I just literally tried to tell him about it. And he was really short and rude with me and walked away. Like the whole point was he was rude with me initially. And then when I told him about it, he was I'm pretty sure there was a time too where somebody said something to the effect of it might have even been him. I don't make the machine. Something like that. But it was like it was half an apology, half sarcastic. He was like, "I'm sorry, sir, I don't make the machine," or something. It was something like I was like, really, really." I don't care about your personal feelings about how my attitude sounds. I literally don't fucking care. It is your job to hear my complaint. And if you're just an employee, all you gotta do is tell me that. All you gotta do is tell me, well, hold on. I'm sorry. Let me get a manager for you. That's it. That's all I gotta say. Nobody expects you to be, as an employee, nobody expects you to be good at customer service necessarily. You just have to be mediocre at it. Okay. So all you gotta say is, "Let me get a manager. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want to make sure that somebody hears your complaint or something like that." Perfectly reasonable. I might be a little irritated, but perfectly reasonable because you want to make sure that they hear your complaint. And if they're irritated by that, that's the wrong direction to go. I would have loved that. I would love that. Well, thank you. Great. That works. Instead, I frustratingly threw my shit in my cart, smashed my bread. My bread's smashed now. Literally. Like I threw all my shit in my cart all weird. Yeah, I didn't even want to be there another second. These fucking people were like nasty. What the fuck? I'm the fucking guy that ate a burrito with a hair in it and didn't complain. I'm the guy that ate a burrito with a hair in it and didn't complain. once sat in the same drive-through, that particular one. I'm not making this up. I know people exaggerate. I really am not making this up. Because I was trapped and I couldn't leave it. I was actually stuck in the drive-through for 45 minutes. Not an exaggeration, swear to God. I know people exaggerate. I've worked drive-through before. Trust me, they do. I'm aware. I know it was 45 minutes because I have my receipt. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's that long. Yeah. Because I looked at it, I remember thinking, man, we're in here a long time. You know, I wonder if it just feels like we've been in here this long. Because now I'm thinking of what time it was when we got in here. And doesn't, I don't know, maybe it's not. Here, where's the. Yeah. And I didn't complain. Yep. 45 minutes. And a fast food drive through and I didn't complain. I'm a patient guy. I will wait. I just want you to fix it. I do not want to come in your fucking store and go through the self checkout just to have to stand there and look around for somebody because then somebody's waiting on me. It's not even my fault. Just like today, when I had a solution to it, oh, but the weight limit was reached. And then the employee, oh boy, you're so smart. You're so intelligent that you suggest. Why don't you just skip back? Why don't why don't you just why don't you just skip it? Just skip back. Because here we are back at the same original point. Where I'm gonna have to do that for like quite a bit of the stuff that we got here because it's shit that you'd never bag. Can't bag a 12-pack of soda. Can't do it. How am I supposed to bag a 12-pack, a cube, a rectangle of soda cans? How am I supposed to bag that? And you can't program your system to know that? You know, there's plenty of stores that say, do not put this in the bagging area, as it will damage the bagging area. And all this because that store can't do that. Boy, it'd be really great if they'd take my complaint, wouldn't it? It'd be really great if the employees actually lodged my complaint so that way they know these things. Right? Right? Wouldn't that be great? Because then they could fix it and be like, "Oh yeah, great idea. We'll just go around and decide everything that doesn't make any fucking sense for you to bag it so that way it's not pissing people off." Yeah, exactly. Because you don't fucking bag soda. Nobody bags soda. Nobody. Who the fuck? Who, how and why? Again, even when you get a fucking 6-pack of the 20 something or other ounces, They have handles on them. You don't bag them. What a waste. So you want me to waste plastic and overweigh your system. And not only that, that self-checkout, the little handheld thing, it doesn't work. The little thing for the scan, it doesn't work. I had to like physically lift every single thing out of the cart and turn it a certain weird way. And then so I was already irritated because they didn't fix that shit. So I'm already shaking my head because they don't fix anything. And so like the point is, I complained about that before. They didn't do anything. They just didn't do anything about it. Jesus Christ. What the fuck do people do when they go to, do they just stand around and get paid money to like talk to their friends and pretend like they work there? You don't stop what you're doing to help another customer. Like, you don't stop helping a customer to help a customer, especially when they're complaining. Holy goddamn shit. Like, the most basic fucking mistake that you could ever make. And you're dealing with the self-checkout. That's your job. What a terrible... You should not be dealing with that. No. Because, like, you failed on every level. Not only did you act stupid like that and get combative, but you had a stupid suggestion. Oh, skip bagging. Didn't even have a good suggestion. And then you're just arguing instead of taking the complaint. How about trying to realize why that's frustrating? Kind of like the guy that mutually apologized. He admitted that shit pisses him off too. Of course it does. It's fucking stupid. If you can't bag it, why are you telling me to try to bag it? Again, plenty of other stores literally say it's too heavy. So why would you fucking suggest for me to put that there? Because you're stupid? You're stupid. That's why. Because you're fucking stupid. You don't know how to fucking do anything. Like, I mean, that's a pretty basic thing. Like, I'm seriously wondering how you, like, function. Because, like, that's a pretty basic motherfucking thing to understand. It really is. Like, you failed on that many goddamn fucking levels. These are basic fucking things. Hear the complaint. Person's irritated. Clearly, there's a reason for that. Hear it out. Don't ever walk away. Let them finish. Like, this is just 101 stuff. And then when I point out that you walk away, when I simply point it out, you raise your voice. And then contradict me. You raise your voice and contradict me. I'm not walking away, sir. When you literally walk, you're behind me and I now have to turn around. What's the definition of walking away? Walking away? Oh, so, literally walking around and behind the person would be considered walking away. Duh! And she's so fucking stupid. She's literally in the act of walking away while saying, "I'm not walking away, sir." Like, this is some pretty basic shit, guys. This is some pretty basic shit. To that stupid fucking lady cashier that chimed in and shouted, "Stop!" And your stupid fucking comment. You know, I'm like twice your fucking age. I've literally owned a business, taught martial arts classes to thousands. Shut the fuck up. What, did you see that on a TV show or something? You saw that? You saw that on some fucking TV show, and you know, on cue, everybody stopped. So you know, you tried it out. Jesus Christ. Unless you're the authoritative figure in that situation, you observe and shut the fuck up. When those things happen, since I'm older and wiser, I'm going to let you know. When those things happen and you are not like the authoritative figure in the situation, like whatever that highest authoritative figure would be to listen and deal with the person, you observe and you shut the fuck up. You don't chime in, you don't involve yourself, because now you've involved yourself. Everything you say better be accurate, you better not lie. Your job might be on the line. Cameras everywhere, they got audio. Oh yeah. And maybe I was recording too. Yeah. Maybe I won't. So the point is, you involved yourself. You didn't simply observe and shut the fuck up. So now we and everybody else involved knows you're involved because you involved yourself. So it's simple. So next time something happens around you, again, unless you're an authoritative figure where you can actually do something about it, shut the fuck up and observe for your own sake. You aren't helping anything. Certainly not helping yourself. You're worsening things. Shut up and observe. It's that simple. You know, One could say that's probably what the manager should have done too. You know, they don't have to deal with it. You know that, right? They have codes to override this, their managers. So when it happens to them and they work there, even when they shop there, they can just override it. So that's why they don't fucking care. So this is the bullshit other side of that you don't see, that you would have to consider. That's why they don't fucking give a shit. Yeah. This shit happens every time I come in. And again, the asshole lady that was like, "Oh, well, why didn't you just use the?" Remember the lady that was standing there? That was that was the only thing she did say. She's like, "Why didn't you just use the checkout where the cashier is down there?" So I admitted to her I didn't see that it was open. So it's actually not my fault. But I did own up to it. I told her it was my fault. I actually had said it was my fault. I was willing to do that to try to de-escalate. Even though it's not. It's actually totally not my fault. I didn't see it. Literally had no idea. There was nobody over there. So the cashier must have been fucking walking around. Because I didn't see her. So the issue is, again, your goddamn fucking employees aren't doing their jobs. And they know it. Yeah, they know it. Gee, I wonder how you can tell if somebody in public watches your stream or not, and then harasses you. I wonder. Wonder when you can tell. Because meanwhile, I'm just trying to get groceries in peace and complain like any normal citizen's allowed to do. These ridiculous fucking employees don't need 5 customers to defend against my tone, my talking that is loud enough that they don't like it. That's what I told the lady that was standing there. I told her she was being that way. She didn't like my tone. I'm like, why are you? I'm like, I'm like, why are you just gonna stand there? Did I do something that physically disrupted your shopping experience? She was like, yeah, you're causing a scene, and I heard it. I'm like, no, you came over here. You're causing a scene. You're the one getting involved in my complaint. Like, she literally just didn't want to hear that. That's the truth of it, though. Like, these people are fucking stupid. Like, I'm literally just complaining, and I talk loud. I'm allowed to do that. Yep. Got news for you. I'm allowed to do that. If I were doing it like this, oh my gosh. I am so sorry, but oh, your self-checkout, it's just a piece of shit. I am so sorry to have to complain, but you know, it's a piece of shit. And every time I come in, boy, does it ever fucking suck. You know, this just sucks. I'm still talking at the same volume. I'm just not getting the point across that I'm fucking irritated. There's no difference. Zero. Are you done? Are you done thinking you're better? Are you done? Okay. I deserve the right to fucking complain. Okay. I deserve the right to have an employee do their fucking job and hear it. Period. You do not get to publicly harass and shame somebody because they're sort of loudly complaining. You don't get to do that. You are essentially doing that thing that you are claiming that I'm doing to me when I'm not even doing it. What the fuck? So, obviously the point is, every one of those employees is essentially just sort of unchecked. They're too familiar with each other. Or even that a cashier felt like she had the freedom to just chime in and join in with the altercation. Like, the reality of the situation is, I was complaining to an employee. Other customers heard it and started ganging up on me and making threats, like calling me names and stuff like that, and like were like standing near me and stuff. Yep. And several other employees joined in. The lady raised her voice at me, walked away from me, and all because I had a complaint. And was, again, frustrated, but not with her. I was voiced my frustration that she walked away, but that was when she raised her voice and escalated. I did not do that. I gave you an example of when I did that. Okay? I am just loud when I'm happy, frustrated. Okay? Yeah, I guess when I'm normal, I sometimes lower the tone, but I talk loud a lot. I do. Typically there's a lot of beeping, a lot of people around, a huge open environment, like a store. Yeah, I'm gonna talk so that you hear me. I don't want you to be like, what? What? Because then I'm gonna get fucking pissed. I have to repeat myself? No, no, I'm gonna speak so you hear it. I don't want to hear what. So, you don't have the ability to be offended by the the volume of my talking voice. Speak as loud as I want. It's not yelling by any means. I gave you an example of yelling earlier. This isn't even close to yelling. Not even close. Cops go out and yell at people all day, every fucking day. They scream at people. Okay, you got plenty of examples of yelling and screaming and stuff like that you can go look up. You can go reference. That wasn't even close to the tone. Not even fucking close. They're just irritated by the tone. Yeah. Good. Good. Maybe you should ask yourself why I'm irritated, why I feel the need to have that tone, to be irritating. So what? It's irritating. You're an adult. Pull up your fucking pants. Get to work. When I give you a challenge, you should say challenge accepted. When YouTube takes all my views, I get on here and I bitch. We call the lawyer, we document. Boy, what a world where you get to get paid money to stand there and be rude to customers. What a world. I'll bet you voted for Trump too. Bet you did. Bet you saw the pink hair and went, fuck this fucking guy. Betcha. It's been doing the radical of exactly what I thought it would do. It's doing the radical of both sides. So I have interactions with people like that, where they treat me like that. Or again, like I described earlier, where they want to talk about my hair, they want to talk about hair, they want to it's like, like I don't I'm sort of that person where I would really like, unless I know you, I'm really not into having a huge conversation about myself. Okay. What do you do that? Do you just tell strangers? You're a stranger. Like, I realize that I'm seeing you in the store and that you're an employee and stuff, and I might come in there sometimes, but you're a stranger. Do you normally do things like that? Is it a good idea? Do you think that's a good idea? I don't think that's a very good idea. I think that's how people get stalked. You shouldn't do that. Okay. And so, like, it's really weird this person keeps doing that. And then, like, that's how I feel. Like, when you are rude to me just because you take my you know, my barriers, my walls as rudeness, that's weird because in my opinion that's toxic. You're trying to like leverage information out of me by making me feel bad about having a perfectly reasonable personal barrier. Okay? So look, I'm not gonna sit here and go into the politics of why I do or do not, like huge links. I even know I just did, but not huge links, okay? That's a pretty good summary. I don't need any more or less than that. That's reasonable. All right. That's fair, I think. And so, just like the sunglasses thing, where like, why would you call somebody an asshole or think that? Because you look at the world like this? Because everybody doing that's doing it for whatever reason that you decided while looking at the world like this? Probably. Is it something malicious? Like what reason do you think? Come on, man. I swear to God, and even that store, the last time I didn't have them on, swear to God, fell right off, and I if I put him if I hook them on my pocket, I will walk past something and they will get yanked right off. I I don't wanna break anything in the store, I don't wanna break the sunglasses, and I swear to God, the last time I did this, I hooked them onto the shirt, and I was not wearing this, I was wearing, like, I think a t-shirt, it was just, like, a little bit more loose, and I bent down to, like, pick something up off a shelf. Swear to God, they just went smack right against the fucking floor. And I was just like, "Oh God, I come on, really?" So, like, just to, like, s s assume that it's like, I can't look man, if I put 'em on my head, it's really uncomfortable. I got shit in my hair half the yeah, like, I realize a lot of people, they put them on their head. This is really uncomfortable, I don't know how you do that. By the way, that story I told you where I forgot where I put my sunglasses because 'cause they're on my head, that didn't happen to me, I was just telling you that story, okay? Sometimes I do that. Um, I don't put them on my head. It's uncomfortable. No, like, most of the time I got shit in my hair, and then at the same time, um if I put them on my head, they're gonna fall off too when I bend over. They're just gonna fall right the fuck off. It's just gonna be the same problem. If you don't just wear them, they fall off. Do you remember the maybe I should just get, like, the rope. But then that looks ridiculous, doesn't it? And then, like, you feel it on your neck. Yeah, just wear them. Who the fuck cares what people think? That's how I feel. I'm just gonna fucking do whatever the hell I want. Who the fuck cares? Fuck people and their stupid opinions. So, like, this is so like, it's so stupid. And then that lady, she acted that way because she once knew somebody that acted like that. Except this person doesn't have discipline or checks and balances, right? And they used to lose their cool all that. That's it. So that's why she acts. So she assumes anybody that acts like that is like that. She just assumes because she's a complete fucking jackass. This is what judgmental people do. That's the problem. They are judgmental. They were judgmental of that person too. They probably didn't help that person that acted like that. They probably exacerbated it. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. And then they feel justified. Guarantee it. That's that behavior. Where it's almost like they're trying to get you to like I felt like she was like trying to get me to do something by like placing herself right in front of me. Cause this is what she did. Like, why not just ignore the situation and be about yourself? You're gonna really just stand there in front of the employee that I'm trying to complain to? It's the strangest fucking thing. And then she just like again, she just had this smirk. That's like criminal behavior. How do I know that every employee there wasn't like, because I go in there sometimes. How do I know they weren't secretly working to like plot against me and stuff? I don't feel comfortable with that. Not at all. That's really weird that they acted that way. Like I really just truthfully cannot believe all these employees and these customers literally just one by one did that. And again, they have the fucking security footage and audio to clearly tell I was not yelling at anybody or losing my cool. I was literally trying to complain. It's that simple. I am a loud motherfucker. I am a loud motherfucker. But listen, everybody in my family's like that. Like some people are just like that, man. So, it's not yelling, okay? It's match again, it was matching that tone. It was, this person randomly raised their voice on me and I felt like I needed to match that. That's all. Like when somebody's being aggressive or attacks you or something and you match the aggression. You defend yourself and match, you know, their aggression with the correct amount of defense necessary to stop the person. That's how I felt like I was doing, and it was probably very successful. Like I clearly have. So like that's probably why those people were irritated by that. Sure, but don't attack me. I'm not. It's not at you. It's not even at the employee. I'm irritated. I'm a customer. Leave me a fuck alone. So at the certain point where you're starting to gang up on people that would, you know, complain, um, you have a real serious situation where these are groups of very obviously MAGA voters that are recognizing somebody that doesn't like Trump. It's that simple. And, they're doing something you don't like in public. It's not something that's like wrong or, like there's really nothing wrong with it, really. You just don't like it. So now you're defamating, you're harassing, or otherwise interacting with that person in public and making them feel embarrassed, harassed. And that's what I mean, the guy called me an asshole just because I was wearing sunglasses. And then I took them off just to. It's like, whatever, man. Like, they're just sunglasses. I think I said something like that. I mean, I did tell him he's an asshole for calling me an asshole. But, like, that's why I apologized to him in the parking lot. I didn't call anybody else any names or anything like that. I wasn't trying to be like that. I just called him because he called me an asshole. So, like, I'm like he was very retaliatory. He called me an asshole, so you're an asshole. I'm an asshole. No, you're an asshole. I mean, it's that. So I just one after another got attacked by these people. So I wonder, like, if that lady was silently telling that guy something that wasn't true about me. Like his cashier, where she was like, "Stop!" And they were yelling stuff out the door at me. Like as I was trying to leave, they were actually like yelling things out the door at me too as I was trying to leave the store. They were. All the employees were. And that fucked up. Like what the hell? Like truthfully, if I was in the wrong, if I were yelling or I did anything wrong, this would be like, trust me, you guys would know. They would kick me out of the store. They would have every right to do so. They would have done it. But they didn't. They didn't even tell me to leave or anything. It was just very obvious they didn't want to deal with me. They were extremely fucking rude and, again, harassing, embarrassing. This world is terrible that we treat people this way. Yeah, remember the whole point is remember I made a point that even right in that parking lot somebody almost ran me over. I was using the crosswalk, first of all. But secondly, I remember telling somebody about this, and that faggot was like, "Were you using the crosswalk?" Excuse me. First of all, in a parking lot, it doesn't matter. In a parking lot, I park and then walk into the store. I have to walk through the lot. No. You are to drive slow and yield for pedestrians anywhere. Period. That's the law, period. They do not have to use the crosswalk for you to yield for pedestrians. Period. Secondly, yielding for pedestrians in the crosswalk, the reason they say that is to help people in cases where they get hit in crosswalks, just like this situation. That is what that's for, is to help them. Because so many people do this. This fucking douche pulled up, dropped somebody off at the curb like he shouldn't, instead of using the parking lot. I was leaving the store with a cart, walking across the crosswalk, because if I was leaving the store, I wouldn't have been able to leave the sidewalk without leaving into the crosswalk. Because otherwise, my cart would have been like, duh, duh. Okay? It would have turned all over the side of the parking lot, went on groceries everywhere, okay? We literally physically would not have been able to enter the parking lot if I didn't use a crosswalk, all right? So it's in the crosswalk. This guy already pulled up, almost hits me, lets somebody out. I try to go around him, like in front of him, just to, because I'm walking. I'm assuming he stopped. And he just does this rolling stop as he lets this person out, and then just drives in front of me and cuts me off, and almost like runs into the shopping cart and hits me, almost hits me. Okay, that guy's an asshole. You know, like, you're not an asshole for just for wearing sunglasses in a store. Yeah, I could have had a medical reason for that. Maybe the lights are a little fucking bright. A little bright for the nighttime. The contrast, I walk from, yeah, because it's, yeah, duh. There'd be a million fucking reasons why I'd do that. I'm not an asshole just because I'm doing that. You're an asshole if you almost run somebody over with your car, though. Yeah, that makes you an asshole. That, I'm allowed to call you an asshole for that one. That one I'm allowed. That deserves it. And like that guy, like the point is, we apologize to each other. My complaint isn't even with him. The guy in the store called me an asshole. Like, that's the whole point. We dealt with that. Yeah, we were on the same page. Yeah, he misunderstood. That's it. That's it. He was cool. I shook his hand. Did I tell you that part? I stuck my hand out and made sure I shook his hand. I stuck my hand out to shake his hand. Cause he was doing the whole thing where he was kind of looking down and not making eye contact with me when he was apologizing. I could tell he just felt really bad about it. So I didn't want him to like feel like, you know, just anything at all. So I stuck my hand out to shake his hand so that he knew that I wasn't, trying to be upset with him or anything like that, or um hateful or anything. Um and like I said, he apologized back and everything, and said he hates that shit too. And so I think, like, again, like, it was just a misunderstanding where he sort of had started to believe, just because of all these people doing what they were doing, You see what I'm saying? Really fucked up. That's the angry mob right there. Yeah. That angry mob was picking the wrong fucking person, though. See, that's the problem. Don't do that. Don't be in the wrong. Oh, they're picking the wrong person. Um, I don't understand what's so entitling about these folks. Like, why they have to do this where, I just don't get it. It doesn't take that much of an effort to stand there and sort of like, again, it has nothing to do with you personally. You can apologize to somebody on behalf of like the company or whatever's going on. You possess the skill and ability to say, I'm sorry that that's happening. I actually can't. I don't like the fact that like some companies will almost treat it. Some companies will almost treat it sort of like oh, it's your fault if you say you're sorry or something like that. Huh? How are you're not admitting fault? What? To say you're sorry? No. Um, do you tell somebody that they're sorry that their relative died? Are you admitting fault? Every time you tell somebody they're sorry about their relative that died? Are you doing it then? You did is that it y'all taking out people's relatives and stuff, you know? No. No. And you sure as hell don't fucking try to do it then, do you? You don't try to say it then, do you? Suddenly we remember that. You have fucking selective memories, don't you? When you want to argue with something, when you want to use something to your advantage to argue it, oh, we don't do that because, you use it for all you want. But you have a real goddamn selective memory when it comes to, yeah, because you know full well we do this all the time in our culture. We apologize when somebody dies. You're sorry that they lost their relative. You didn't assassinate anybody. You're just apologizing because you're sorry that they lost somebody, right? That's what that means. Why can't you do this at your job? That's a really fucked up company with some really fucked up negative toxic policies. When they make you feel like it's your fault, you're admitting fault by saying you're sorry. I wonder I wonder why they have that. I wonder if it's so that you don't ever apologize to each other in the workplace, thus to create a toxic environment so that you work faster. I wonder. I wonder if it's on purpose. Hmm. Hmm. I wonder. Hmm. I wonder. I wonder. So obviously, like I said, I'm gonna give the company, the store a chance to make up for it, but I don't expect much. I just hope they did the right thing because that's bad. That's really bad. Oh boy. And I'll bet I'll be willing to bet a good 4 out of 5 of those people, not the employee looked like a fucking Trump voter. I'll bet about 4 out of 5 of those people that were customers gave me a hard time because they thought I was the Trump voter. I'll bet that's what they thought. And I'll bet they were doing it just because of that. Just because that's what they thought. What a bunch of retards. Especially when you guys know I can't stand that fucking retard, that orange douche. So that's the way I get treated. That's the way I get treated. Cause they see this light colored hair. They don't the pink, you don't even see that anymore. It looks blonde now. They see the light hair and they see the light eyes. That's what they see. Because because uh because I resemble, because we have similar features. I'm treated a certain way because he is so hated. I am treated this way. I already told you people were being racist in general to me. I've always been treated this way. I have always had this problem. But the more this asshole continues to be a narcissist and have the superior complex, the worse this is going to get. This has been my whole life where people have treated me this way. I have gotten used to it a little bit, but I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to get used to people assuming I have everything and assuming, I'm okay and everything's all right and stuff, blah, 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 blah. Like just essentially just taking advantage of you, walking all over you and stuff like that. My whole life, that's just literally my whole life. It's never ended. Ridiculous. And I need to stop with the I just people don't deserve it. They don't. They share that they don't. Like Sometimes you just spend too much time giving back to life, giving to people, you know, just being giving and being caring, and people don't deserve it. They just don't. It's just the truth. And you know, you're always taught to be that way and taught to give back. And but how about when some would actually, you know, learn how to manipulate and take advantage of that, you know? So, you know, I just for sure want to move forward, you know, with better days and wiser times, if you get what I'm saying. People just don't deserve. I mean, some very few, I guess, obviously, but like, no lie, this lady, as I was complaining to her, there was like two separate times where I kept trying to just like get it across that I wanted her to hear my complaint and stuff like that. And like I swear to God, literally, she was just staring into space. She wasn't looking at me. She was just staring into space. Like she didn't care what I was saying at all. Because like at that point, the manager was being rude to me. And she wasn't, the lady that I was trying to complain to wasn't making eye contact with me. She was just staring into space, standing next to the manager lady. Well, what are you even doing then? Like what are you even doing then? So, you know, like I'm not this dick that's like, you know, when you're at work, you gotta be working every fucking second. Every goddamn fucking. If you take a sip of your drink, that's seconds off the clock. No, like I'm not fucking Dwight about it, okay? I'm really not, okay? That's not the point. That's totally not the point. That is like completely opposite of the point, actually. That's got nothing to do with this. It's more about you trying to get away with that, with exactly that, except during a time where it's crucial that you don't do that, where it's crucial that you be 100%. You know, like everybody struggles with this and that. So again, if you can't deal with that customer, you're not good at that. I don't expect, you know, everybody's different, with better with different things. So then that manager better fucking do her job and take care of that shit and take over for her. But she's fucking shit. She was garbage. She made it worse. Okay? So in my opinion, the manager, that's on her. Bad manager. Bad. Very bad. Very bad. Just not doing her job. And I'll be honest, She kind of seemed like that. She kind of seems like the lady that sort of kind of goes in, stands around and talks, and doesn't do a whole lot. It's kind of how it seems. Because otherwise, she would have been focused on why I was complaining and giving any shit at all that I was irritated about this and wanted to complain. She would have actually reprimanded the employee, you know, for raising her voice. That's all I want to see. Not that, you know, essentially that she is told, don't escalate, don't argue with the customer. You know, like you can just, especially when you're clearly not the employee to handle that, you clearly can just pass this right on to somebody else. That's perfectly, like I already said, that's perfectly acceptable if you clearly can't handle it. Which she couldn't. So, you know, that's not my problem. They made that my problem. And not only that, I was embarrassed. I was insulted by many customers. Several employees were like shouting things at the door, you know, as I'm walking out and stuff. Very sarcastically telling me to have a good night. Not telling me to have a good night. Very sarcastically, the manager tells me, "You have a good night. You have yourself a good night now." Instead of, "Well, let's take your complaint." So, um, you know, just really bad. Really, really bad. Really bad employees. You're very bad at your job. Why do you go there? To get paid? What are you doing while you're there? Are you just supposed to stand there and like push a button here and there? You know, like just whenever. You just kind of go in and have a conversation. No, you're there to deal with, you know, like if a customer would have a question or whatever, okay, you're still gonna get the employee that can deal with that and manage it and take the complaint or whatever it may be. Okay? You are definitely not there to argue with people. It's not what you're there for. So, very, very disappointing. It's terrible that that would happen. Terrible. You know, like just like all right, like can you imagine if I were like some old lady that would have acted the same way? Just had a complaint, legitimate complaint, and she's getting all this heavy stuff, and she can't really lift it out of the cart. The fucking scan thing doesn't work. And you don't think that this needs to be fixed. The scan thing never works. She has to get somebody. Suddenly, you would treat this differently, wouldn't you? You wouldn't think I was an asshole. And I've complained about this multiple fucking times. Had people walk away from me, completely just walk away, very rude to me. And so finally, I've had enough. This lady walks away. She's not even hearing me out. And remember, I don't yell at her. I just point out that, and there she goes. She walks away. Sort of like that. And then she raised her voice. Snaps back that she's not walking away. Again, as I pointed out, that she in fact was, while she was in fact walking away. Literally fucking lying. Like, literally lying as she's doing it. I'm not walking away. She's literally already behind me, and I have to turn around to face her because she's answering the self-checkout for the customer, dealing with exactly that, where it goes off. So, like, that's the point. That's the exact thing I don't want to deal with. Like, the whole point is, I understand when these things happen once in a while, but if I'm doing things to avoid that, I should be able to avoid that. You know, like not bagging things and stuff like that. I shouldn't immediately be accused. Like you have to come over and clear it out just because the soda isn't bagged. Nobody bags 12 packs of soda. You can't. A giant box of frozen pretzels. The box is like this big. How am I gonna bag that? How am I gonna bag that? How? If anything, some of you show exactly how fucking stupid you are. Yeah, like some of these people that work at these stores, they've never shopped at a wholesale. Ever. And you can tell. When you shop at a wholesale, they don't even have bags. Every single item, not bagged. You just put it right back in your cart, and they look at your receipt when you leave the store, and that's it. You don't even have a bag. And you guys are like harping over this fucking bag thing. You gotta walk over and hit a damn button just because the system locks you out and you never fixed it. That's it. It's literally that simple. You didn't do this. It's just built into your system and you don't know how to turn it off. It's that basic. Yeah. It's that fucking basic. Because that you're not doing that for theft. Again, we're talking about the store where somebody in the middle of the night stole an ATM. Swear to God. So this fucking store is stupid. Irresponsible, dumb fucking employees. Same store that burned down and they rebuilt it. And this is how they're treating it. Same one. Burned down and they rebuilt it. Same one. So negligence, so many levels. And this is what they're doing. As it's rebuilt, this is how they're treating it. Yeah, the whole thing burned down and somebody stole your ATM in the middle of the night. And you're harping over this fucking bag thing. Not treating employees right. Hmm. It's a great way to promote theft. Having a stupid fucking system like that. Mm-hmm. Great way. And obviously, I shouldn't have to sit here and tell you the scams that you can do with that. You should be smart enough to figure out reverse engineer things that you could do with that. You should be smart enough to do this. If you can't do that, go the fuck back to school or learn how to use your head. Stop pretending like this is some magic trick. Stop it. Stop pretending like people can't see these patterns. You know how I can see that pattern? Do you understand why that works? Do you get it? All right, I'm gonna make this really basic for you. Are you ready? Here's why I can see the pattern. Are you ready? What's 4 minus 3? Actually, I'm sorry. What's 4 plus 3? Sorry. What's 4 plus 3? I'll go with plus. Mine doesn't really work. What's 4 plus 3? It's not that hard. What is it? 7? It's not a trick question. It's 7. Okay, what's 3 plus 4? Not a trick question. So if 4 plus 3 is 7, what's 3 plus 4? It's the same thing. It's 7. It doesn't matter which way you fucking do it. It's still fucking adding numbers. 3 plus 4 is 7. So is 4 plus 3. That's why you can reverse engineer things. That. It's in basic mathematics. So don't tell me you can't see patterns. Anybody should be able to see them. They're in basic mathematics. That's how basic it gets. Learn how to do things like this. Why don't you put a shopping cart in the middle of a parking lot? The lady that was doing that doesn't have a very nice car. Like first of all, she wasn't driving. She wasn't driving. No, somebody was waiting for her, and she was a passenger. So this does not affect her. Why don't you leave a shopping cart in the middle of a fucking parking lot? Because the wind will possibly blow it into a vehicle. And, you're going to be like, oh, but the employees are going to get it. How do you know that the employees are going to get it before that happens? How do you know? You don't know. The wind could just, any given time. What happens if somebody's flying through a parking lot like they shouldn't be at 80 miles an hour, like they shouldn't be. And the wind takes a shopping cart right in front of that car. Yeah. Yeah. So your laziness, your momentary laziness where you can't put carts, you can't walk 20, 30 more feet so the carts don't damage people's vehicles? You're some kind of extra special. And then you're gonna try to pretend like you're being some hero or something. No, you want to be seen doing it. You don't want to actually be it. You get what I'm saying? I do acts of kindness and things like that all the time, and I don't say shit. I don't say anything that I don't go in the store and tell them about it. Yo, you need to get somebody out. No, look, they know the carts are what they are, okay? People, assholes are gonna do that, okay? They don't need to hear about it every 5 minutes. That's the sort of thing that would get annoying, okay? So, be understanding of that. People are gonna fucking do that and take advantage of that. They're just it's too convenient for them, okay? They can't be bothered to I mean, for crying out loud, if they can't even park to pick up their pizza, they gotta park along the fucking fire lane and the curb in front of the building to pick up their pizza. They ain't pushing the cart, okay? They ain't even pushing the cart to where it needs to go. It's sad, but it's true. So, um, you know, the whole point is, um, everybody acted a fool. Everybody acted a fool. And all because of this thing that we call social media, I think. Where just everybody doesn't know how to act anymore. People are sort of I'm starting to treat other people like memes and cliches instead of people. You guys understand it like while it was a meme and viral and stuff and obviously we got the soundbite out of it and everything. Understand that the whole "it's ma'am" person, like that whole thing, understand that in that situation, in that particular situation, I'm not saying everyone, okay? But in that particular situation, what you had was an example of an employee in the wrong first. Now, they were both in the wrong eventually. She ma'am, I guess, right? She um eventually was in the wrong because obviously you don't there's no reason to become destructive. I think wasn't she destructive, like destroying things and stuff like that, I think, right? If I remember properly. So like obviously there's no reason to and I do believe it did seem like wasn't it yelling? It's ma'am. Didn't she yell that? I feel like that was enough of a sort of a yell. Um so again, like that stuff, yeah, definitely in the wrong and stuff like that. But talking loud, complaining loudly, people do this. It's pretty normal. Um it's completely ridiculous to for somebody to expect somebody to complain politely. They're upset. They're irritated at something that happened at your business and they want the person wants you to understand that they're dissatisfied. If they come to you with like a happy face and all happy fun time, are you going to do anything about it? Or are you going to be like, "Oh, they're fine." Okay? So again, like that's reasonable. And not only that, but like it's also reasonable in the sense that it's it's unreasonable to expect people to not be that way. It's completely unreasonable to expect people to not be that way. because they are going to react that way. They're going to just sort of normally feel irritated, because they're, for whatever reason, being held up by this thing that's supposed to be quick and not hold them up, or whatever it is they're complaining about. In my situation, that was it. Um, and then essentially just the fact that my complaint wasn't heard, I felt like they were being rude, and then rude again. Like rude, I had already tried many times, and then sort of just kind of starts walking away, almost like the behavior of the other employee, and I call him out on it, and just even more, even more, even more, then the other employee, then the other employee, then customers. Like, just, man. So, you know, you got a right, you got a right, you got a right to complain, and a right to do so loudly. Obviously, people don't want you to be scared, like that you're being aggressive and yelling and stuff. Because the whole point is that if you're yelling, well, then that can turn into something. So that's the idea, is that with like that, you don't want to scare them. So like the point is that that's the only thing that you can say legally speaking about the whole raising the voice thing. If it's actually yelling, obviously the concern is behavior at that point, but the the that's the point. We aren't at that point. She gets to that point. Like the other people are almost like kind of getting to that. The guy called me an asshole because I was wearing sunglasses. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. We're literally bullying somebody because they're complaining. And it's just like it was like a domino effect. So, you know, obviously people have a right to complain and feel irritated, and do so while feeling irritated. This is normal. Very, very normal. Um, I had to deal with this pretty regularly. Many jobs that I've had. I've had plenty of people where they were upset about something and I apologized and we made it right. And actually through that, they felt bad. And like my response to it was actually so good. It had the reverse effect where they like started coming more because they liked my response to it and appreciated the fact that I, was respectful with them and stuff. Because that genuinely bothered me, like when we would get something wrong and somebody would, um, like they're not trying to be a certain way to you. You can tell they're just upset, you know, and that would bother me. Like I would genuinely want them to feel like that I care. That's all. So like that was how I would try to treat that stuff. And then just even especially when they're upset or something like that. Um, I would even sometimes go the extra mile and almost point it out, but point it out in a positive way. Just be like, I completely understand being upset about this. I'd feel the same way. I'm really sorry this happened. So we're gonna get this, fixed, made for you right away, and make sure it's right. And like again, if we're talking about food, a lot of time, um, I would sort of like put gloves on or something like that, and to make it obvious that I was inspecting the process. Like just like whatever it is that I could do to make that obvious to the customer that's watching, that I'm inspecting the process, that what what is happening now is that I'm ensuring that there's some type of supervision over their food and all that. And so they feel a lot more comfortable about that, and then I get it to them. And a lot of time that does it. It's a lot of the time that. Just the fact that the person taking their complaint actually makes them feel like they cared. That makes a huge difference. If you just snap a finger, flip the switch where you're trying to make them feel like they shouldn't be complaining, man, not only is it your job to hear that out, like you literally get paid money for this. You're supposed to do this. But you do it for a friend, right? If a friend needed to bitch at you or something, not necessarily at you, but just to you, you'd hear it out, right? So why wouldn't you do it to get paid to do it? That's what I fucking thought. That's what I fucking thought. Yeah. And not like there's so many fucking people in the United States that don't even you can't even do this with your own brain anymore. You're not smart enough to think about that and be like, oh yeah, it's a good fucking point. Yeah, I would do that for oh yeah, I guess I should. Oh yeah, I'm getting paid and I'm wanting to do it for a friend. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Durr. Start doing this stuff, man. Remove your own bias for once. Stop being so fucking based about everything. Stop this. Based. Is that a good thing? Stop bragging about it. Based. Shut up. Sounds stupid. Based. Like it's you're superior or something if you're based. No, you're inferior, by the way, if you are. Yeah, because you're not only biased, you're admitting that you're biased. It's 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 like, oh yes, bias, doubling down. Jeez. Yeah, like it's like ICE. Illegal immigration deportation. Yeah, you know what? It is illegal. You know what? White people don't fucking care because they're racist as shit. American white people. It's so messed up. What a society we live in. Anyway, I I wanted to do our little season finale here. Um but yeah, I wasn't sure fully what I was going to talk about, but hey, then that happened. So there we go. There, like if anything, like it's almost like, yeah, that lines up exactly, with what you'd expect. Some whole lot of fucking bullshit's going down. Tensions are rising. Bam. Shit, like sure, for sure. And so like that's where like everybody else needs to start doing what that guy and myself were able to do. And listen, I need to give myself more credit. I really do, because I think I handled that pretty fucking well. I was very embarrassed, and that really pissed me the fuck off the way they acted. And I went out in that parking lot and I apologized to that guy. And I didn't do anything wrong. It takes a fucking pair of balls to apologize when you're not even wrong. When you know it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do because he's a person. It takes a pair of balls to do that. Because, damn it, half of you out there, half of you men, more than half of you men out there, you sit here and you can never admit that you're wrong about goddamn fucking anything. Not a one damn thing. Not one. But meanwhile, I can go out in a parking lot and flat out walk out there with the intent to say, you know what, man? I'm sorry I acted like that. You didn't deserve that. And thank him for trying to be defensive. Because I did. I really did. I thanked him. Because I appreciate people like that. You know, he was just trying to stick up for somebody he believed. He just didn't know, you know? And so like that's the point. I wanted to thank him because I appreciate that. So why can't more people do that? What we did there. Why can't more people do that? Do you know why? Because everybody's spying on you and everybody's running a psyop. Everybody heard what happened in that store. They were prepared for this. You know, the people that listen and meddle. And what they do is normally before you have the chance to patch things up, they get that guy to go on and see some angry meme or angry this or this to change what he would think about that situation, to try to alter how he'd feel about it. This is what they normally do. So if you take that scenario, the cameras, everything you know about everything I said about these psyops and stuff, this is exactly what they do. Now that's the type of shit Russia does. It is. They'll run that toxic meme and you know get that person to see it essentially. Yeah, because it's just about knowing that person's data. They get them to. I mean, like they can get the show up at the top of their timeline or whatever they're looking at. You know, like it's just that basic. Getting it to. You know, it's just like what I told you with how the scammers are tricking people on YouTube, which is what I told you about the why I use an ad blocker, because I was picking up on the fact that I was getting not just trackers but malicious ones, like ones that were actually hacking my system. That's what was happening. The ads on YouTube were actually so malicious, my system was getting hacked because I'd watch an ad. I'm not ever watching an ad. Fuck you. Fuck you. So you know you gotta do what's right to protect yourself, man. That's fucked up. That is fucked up. And there's like so many of them now. You watch an extra long music video, even if you watch an extra long music video, they'll stop the song after 5.5 minutes just to play an ad, just for you to hear another minute and a half of music. What the fuck? Well, listen to that shit somewhere else. See, that's what's messed up. You can't, like, that is so messed up. Put that shit all at the beginning or put one at the end. You don't interrupt the shit. You know, music videos, these things, like, these are is like an art form, you know, it's not meant to be interrupted. You know, unless they meant for it to be interrupted, then fine. Then usually there'll be an intermission or they'll put something in there for that. But I mean, if it's just a normal song, I got news for you. A lot of times, that shit, like, they don't, you know, that's just supposed to be start to finish. You know, they don't really want it to be cut up, interrupted. You know, like, it's like that's the whole thing with the radio edit stuff. They don't like that shit either. Like, that shit gets all cut up, and then you don't ever hear the cool shit. You know, that's what bothered me for the longest time, and still even now. When you hear Perry Mason on the radio, you know, Ozzy, Perry Mason, the first track on Osmosis, they literally cut half the guitar solo out of the song. Like half. Like you'd think that it's like a do nothing solo almost. And then like if you'd actually listen to the album, you'd be, oh my god, there's like a really awesome guitar solo in here. And they just cut that awesome part out. And then they also cut out like the like huge, even in the video they did this, huge sections in the beginning with the guitar going well, 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 do do woo do do woo do woo do do well, 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 and then he does the slide. Like they cut all that cool build up out. Like it's meant to be heard. Why would you what? No, you gotta earn it, man. It's like the drum riff in the air tonight. You gotta earn it, man. You gotta listen to all that shit. You gotta earn it. You can't just no. Not okay. I mean, like the one exception to that is that you're just getting Ozzy sooner. That's the one okay exception to that. That's the one okay exception to that. But that's it. Okay? That's the only thing where I can be like, all right, that's the only part of that that's good. I still want to hear more of the rock though. That needs to no, don't cut that out. Cause then when Ozzy finally comes in, he's that much more badass and has that much more of a fucking intro. That's badass. Yeah. And then he has that much more of a guitar solo back in his his you know badass outro and all that. You know, I mean, it's all about that. It's all you know, like it's supposed to sound how it's supposed to sound. Sounds great the way they did it. So I just so much shit gets cut up. No More Tears, same thing. They cut the hell out of that solo. The slow part in the beginning. He does that. He does that part twice actually. The doom, 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 doom. He actually goes back, goes doom, 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 doom. Like there's this whole build up to it. It doesn't just go straight into the solo like that. Yeah. And then like the music video does this too, where you don't ever hear you don't hear the slides after the solo. After the solo finishes, um there's like more of the sliding and stuff. It doesn't just go straight into him singing. It goes right back to and then he goes up and he does like this really, really cool one where he sort of like bends it a bit. Wow. And then it goes into the last verse. Like that stuff's cool. Why like man. And I cut it all up. I mean it still sounds cool. I'm not saying that. I just really wish they wouldn't do that. It's the cool shit. And then nobody ever gets to hear it. They just think the song sounds like that. Um, there's a lot of stuff like this. You know, never get to hear the full version. Cause like a lot of metal songs, especially Ozzy songs, like 5-6 minutes long. No More Tears, wasn't that like 7? I don't remember. Yeah, like a lot of those songs were longer. Perry Mason was longer too. So, you know, they're cutting it up for the radio slot, but it does suck because a lot of times that was what, you know, the version people were here and stuff like that. Um, and then there's very, very few even live performances of Perry Mason too. So it's like, man, it's like, man, one of the coolest fucking songs. Um, yeah, like the whole intro, the dun, 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 dun. Like the whole that the and then it like fades in wow 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 wow. It does this whole thing before the main guitar riff. The it does this whole thing before, like this whole awesome intro before all that, and you almost never hear it. And then Ozzy finally sings, "On his way to dinner, when it took him by surprise." Like then it does it. It's like, man, all that shit was cool. Why'd you cut it out? You know, all that build up. And then it has that cool breakdown you almost never hear too on the radio. They cut that out because um uh it's like, wake me when it's over, tell me it's all right. Yeah, like there's this whole section that they just almost like a lot of times skip through. And then there's like a little bass line there too with like the hi-hat. So like after they finish that, tell me that you give me, tell me it'll be all right. Like there's a little cool ass bass line there where it's like doo 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 doo, and then he's like and then it goes wow, and then the solo kicks in, and it's like the cool. It's like so cool, and they cut it all out. I'm like, what the hell? Why? I mean, yeah, like the point is, what you know, like you got to cut some stuff. I get, you know, you need the time slot. I just Man, it just man, it makes the song, it's so cool. Ties it all together, and so many people don't hear it. Yeah, like, you don't hear that part where Zach's like, "Wow, wow, 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 doo 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 doo," that part in the solo. You don't hear all that. It skips all that. Uh, Annoying. And then, my opinion, the radio doesn't play Thunder Underground enough. Thunder Underground should have been everybody should like that one. That should be up there with everybody's favorites. Like, just such a good song. But yeah, again, another longer one that they probably cut the hell out of. They just probably cut it all out. It probably go right into the main riff. They probably do one of the dun 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 dun, and then probably just have it break out straight into the dun 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 dun. They probably just have it like skip that whole section and then do one of the main riffs, and then go wow wow wow, and then go straight into the "Your thoughts are compromising." Just but, like, such a good song, man. Such a good song. That one has my favorite Ozzy lyric. It was my favorite lyric is "Your bullshit's culture lifting." That's probably my favorite. I like that lyric. You're only mortal after all. So many things got cut up over the years. And nobody hears the real version. I wonder how many people have I wonder how many people have ever even heard "My Jackal Doesn't Hide." We're like, that's tippy top for me. That's like my favorite one, pretty much. And then it's like one of those ones, like almost like you mention it, and somebody's like, "Oh yeah, that one." Like almost like they try to pretend. Um, that one, another longer song, but I just loved everything about it, and that would be another one that would probably have gotten cut up a lot. So obviously, like you can format songs to be longer or shorter. I mean, but like m- that's not really why I listen to Ozzy or I listen to that music. I listen to that music because I um I really like it and I want to hear more of it. So like, the longer the song, that's cool. Um, that's why I liked when Black Label when Zach did Love Rain Down. That was like a longer one for them. I really like it paced very well too. It was like a slower tempo. Um, I really liked that one. Um, Deutschland was another one from Ramstein that they just put out. That was a longer, really good song. Really, really good song. Just phenomenal. Can't even deny it. It's just good. Like even though it's like controversial and everything, you know, and but you listen to it and you're just like, okay, it is really good. Like you can't even deny it's just a good song, like musically and again, a very, you know, Till is very good with his vocals. Very vocally, very good. Um, instruments are always on point. Just everything. Yeah, even like again, like their tone, their recording quality, and then at the same time, they just mm, have this complexity in their simplicity that I love. There's a complexity to their simplicity. It's kind of cool. That's what I like about Rammstein. Like they are like the defining industrial sound, but then like the way they do it, it sounds simple, but it's not. It's not. That's cool. Um, Jesus of Suburbia, my favorite Green Day songs. It's longer. Really good one. Really, really freaking good one. Yeah, man. I mean, they're just usually they're better. I mean, Tool does this a lot too. I like their longer songs. Lateralis is probably my favorite Tool song. Lateralis is my favorite album, but it's probably my favorite song too. I really like that one, and I really like Vicarious is up there too. Now Vicarious, that was 10,000 Days. But I like the entirety of Lateralis too. Good album. Um Schism was always awesome. Listen to that one a lot. I like Schism. But yeah, Lateralis is probably my favorite song. Lateralis. But yeah, those are probably my three favorites. And traditionally, I think those are the fan favorites, aren't they? I think they are. It's not usually the case with me. Usually, I'm not that way. With Tool, for some reason, it just happened that way. Um, I don't know, but I mean, it's not like I mean, again, I love all of Out Lateralis. It's good. Um, but yeah, just for some reason, it happened that with Tool. Definitely not the usual with me, as you guys know. randomly, randomly, the second to last song on Osmosis. It's my favorite Ozzy song. Um, yeah, usually like just like randomly the fourth track on the Blessed Hell Ride. You know, I like track fours. Track fours for some reason are like that's my song too. I guess. Like I liked Thunder Underground was a track four too as well. And wasn't Angle track four? I think Angle was track four on um Sehnsucht for if we're talking Rammstein. And I always liked Angle as well. Um Yeah, track fours are usually pretty good, aren't they? It's awesome. I was just trying to think if there's another resounding track four for me. I don't know that there necessarily is. What was Bloodbath in Paradise? Was that track four? I think it was. That was track four, wasn't it? That's funny. You guys know I love the guitar in that. I think it was because Breaking All the Rules was track five, right? I think. I think. I think. I think it was. I think it was actually. I think that. I think it was. That's funny. Important shit, right? Anyway, it is completely unnecessary for me to sit here and continue talking about the numerical sequence in which tracks appear on albums. Um, I wanted to do a little bit of a, something that was important for our finale here. Um, so I did. I just obviously didn't expect it to just happen, I was sort of brainstorming and well, there it was. So we talked about it. Again, I'm very obviously not trying to, I'm going to again give the store every opportunity to make it right and stuff like that. I'm not trying to put anybody on blast or anything like that. If I was trying to do that, I would have showed up, with my recording device and people's faces like everybody else does, and like that's the point. Like it's and if anything, I very obviously don't want to complain. Nobody wants to complain. Like again, the person that wants to complain, they look like it. I very obviously don't want to complain. So decide, learn when you're in that customer service, like try to figure that out and decipher the difference, okay? It'll help you figure out how to deal with people. You're still gonna have to deal with them, even if you can discern that they are that type of person where they're they want to complain and stuff like that. They're not in there to shop, they're in there to not have a good time and stuff like that. There's still a way to deal with those people, okay? And it's not toxic by any means. It's just smart. You can do this. All right. So, um, I gotta get going. I gotta get going. Um, but just trying to use your brains out there. Again, I don't really expect people to be really, really, really smart or any like I don't it's a completely unrealistic expectation. I don't expect that by any means. I just expect you to be unbiased, reasonable, and hear people out when they want to fucking complain about stuff, and not just immediately treat somebody like crap because they legitimately have complaints. So anyway, I'm getting out of here, guys. As I said already, but this was your little finale for season 9271. So you know real seasons, all seasons 9270, all seasons 9270. We we want to give a special thanks to everybody for making that possible. and it's been a good 9271. But there's gonna be a season finale somewhere, right? So we gotta do it somewhere. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, hearing me out. I appreciate that. See you later. See you guys. Bye. Later. Bye. See ya. Goodbye.